Hello, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. I've been making some videos and dancing around, trying to go around on the outlines of nicety, and trying to get my point of view out to people without seeming too angry. Okay, but I can't do that for this particular video. All right, look, folks, I am a Trump supporter. I am a 66-year-old white supremacist, according to Joe Biden. I am ultra MAGA. I am deplorable, according to Hillary Clinton. But 50% of my videos are dedicated to the fact that Black Americans are being killed in record numbers in all the Democrat-run cities. Chicago, Baltimore, Los Angeles, New York. Look it up. Look it up, folks. Now, you Black Americans have been talking to, trying to be very nice about it and everything else. But you Black Americans better understand one thing. Your people are being killed in the streets for drugs. The Democrats are allowing the drugs to be pumped into this country on the southern border, along with the people that are coming in. They're pumping the drugs in. China is sending the chemicals to Mexico cartels, and they're creating this fentanyl, and it's being pumped into the cities where your people live. Do your own legwork. Do your own research. Don't listen to what you're hearing on the news, because you're not hearing about it anyway. Do your own research. Google how many deaths in your communities alone have been attributed to drug violence, gunplay in the streets. Over 80 people shot in Chicago last weekend. Over 2,800 people in the Black communities have been killed in Chicago alone since 2020. Think about that. The hearses are consistently rolling down the street in these communities, and moms riding in the car behind them crying because their children have been killed. A lot of the children that are being killed are young children, just for being outside playing. Some of them, the bullet comes through their bedroom. And the reason why I'm getting angry about this, folks, is because if you're thinking about voting for a Democrat, and I don't care which Democrat it is, they're all going along with this Biden agenda and this new Green Deal and the socialism communist mentality. They're not talking you listen. Have you ever heard even one time have you heard Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States, mention the killings in Chicago, Baltimore, Los Angeles, and cities like that, New York? Or President Biden mention it? No. But you hear President Biden on a consistent basis, on a regular basis, saying that white supremacy is a threat to our national security. Look, folks, I'm a 66-year-old man. There's not a racist bone in my body. But let me tell you something. I'm not out there killing your people. Your people are being killed because they created an underground economy in these inner cities. They know what they're doing. These drug cartels, it's a big business. It's a big business. Multi-billion dollar, maybe even trillion-dollar business, I don't even know. But the drugs are being poured into the country through Mexico and shipped into these cities here. And first, get this. First, a couple of years ago, they burned down the cities, looted the stores, and devastated the economies. People want to open up a business in these communities. They can't even get insurance. Insurance companies won't insure them because there's no guarantee that there's going to be any kind of protection. But why? They defunded the police, or they're defunding the police. They're constantly trying to take the funding away from the police. Think about it. Then they want to take the guns away from you and from me. Most of you people in the Black community have neighborhoods and nice homes, nice cars, good jobs, But you seem to have forgotten one thing, and that's the people that are left behind. The people that have not made it to where you are. You have a nice home, good for you. You have a nice car, good for you. Nice job, good for you. But what have you done for the people that have been left behind in these cities? Have you done anything to stop the killing? Have you wrote to your legislators? Have you wrote to people like Maxine Waters and say, hey, look, why don't you stop this killing that's going on in these cities? Because as far as I'm concerned, there's blood on the hands of all of these people. There's blood on the hands of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Maxine Waters, and all the rest of these people. Who's the real racists in this country? Who is it? Then they pumped in all these, letting the Spanish people come into the border in record numbers, thinking that the black community is going to create a voting bloc for them. Well, that's not going to happen anyway, because these people that are coming from these other countries, they're coming from communist and socialist countries and lived through oppression, and they came here for one reason, for a better life. They are not going to, if they ever do get the right to vote, they are not going to vote for what they left. Why would they? Why would they? They want their children to come here and have a better life. And most of these people that are coming through the southern border are very, very good Christian people, hard-working people who just want a better life. You think they're going to vote for communists? No. No, but that's besides the issue. The other issue is that they are coming into the country, and the country does not know how to deal with it. They pump them all through all these cities and throughout the country. But when it gets pumped into a place like Martha's Vineyard, where the money is, where Obama is, they ship them right back out. They ship them right back out. And then Kamala Harris, who's supposed to be, Miss America, I guess, she's the biggest racist of them all. She says that DeSantis in Florida should not be sending people out of Florida to places like New York and Chicago and Washington, D.C., because they need them down in Florida to pick the fruit. So what, she's going ahead with slavery? Is she agreeing with slavery? Folks, in the black community, you are being sold out by all your leaders. And you think about this. If anybody that you voted for in the past is a Democrat, go on Google or go on YouTube and try to find one video, just one video, where they mention the killing that's going on in these inner cities. Thousands and thousands of people a year being killed and shot in places like Chicago. Think about it. You got that little mayor up there in Chicago, I call her Beetlejuice, Lori Lightfoot. She's worried about the Mexicans that are coming into the city, and she's worried about Trump supporters and this and that. But in her own city, have you ever heard her mention anything about the killing in the black communities? Folks, the funeral parlors are booming down there. They're booming. I mean, up there in Chicago and New York and Los Angeles and places like that. Every single day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hearses going down the streets. And people just looking at them and saying, what's going to be done? What could be done? What could be done? You want to know what could be done? Get them the hell out of there. Get these Democrats the hell out of there and make sure that you vote Republican or don't vote at all. Because I guarantee you, any vote that you're voting for any Democrat in this election is a vote to bring down our republic. Is a vote to bring down the way of life that you grew up in and your children will never know. If they succeed in this next election coming up in November, 30 days from now, whatever it is, if they succeed and win back the House and keep the House and the Senate, it's over, folks. The republic is gone. It's gone. That would give Joe Biden the green light and a ticket to do 2 more years of his communist takeover. And that's basically what it is. Basically what it is. He'd go around the world and ask everybody to pump more oil, but shut off the oil that we have under our feet. The cleanest oil, by the way. He shut down our pipelines. He goes around the world begging people to turn on to give us more oil. Well, the Saudis said, no, we ain't getting no more oil. Matter of fact, they cut back 2 million barrels a day. And so the gas prices are going to go way back up again. And these people that are talking about, we care about the cops and we care about this and we care about that, I guarantee you, after the election, they'll go right back to the way that the way they were before. Folks, if you're a Democrat and you vote Democrat in November, you are voting to bring down this republic, and you're voting to continue with these people selling out your very own people. The black community is being sold out by the leaders in this country. And if you don't realize that by now, and you keep on going along and say, oh, well, and any black leader that says good things about the Republicans is an Uncle Tom, go ahead, keep on drinking the Kool-Aid, but understand the consequences of what your actions are. You talk about what Donald Trump did, then research what Donald Trump did. He had these other world leaders scared shit. They would never make a move when Donald Trump was in office. We had an energy independence where we were selling oil to other countries instead of begging them to buy their oil. He was pumping money into the black communities with Ben Carson. Ben Carson, a brilliant brain surgeon, was spearheading Donald Trump's initiative to get into the black communities and straighten things out and solve these problems that are going on in there. And Donald Trump also has the First Step Act. Google that, the First Step Act. Folks, Joe Biden is corrupt. Kamala Harris is just a dope. And the rest of them, Adam Schiff and Jerry Nadler and Maxine Waters and Stephanie Abrams and the rest of them, they don't give a shit for your people. Because if they did, they'd be mentioning what I'm saying to you right now. What this 66-year-old white supremacist is saying right now. All they have in their